Hi folks, and welcome back to my reviews of the New Jet Order. Today we're going to go into the short story written by Sean Williams and Sean Dix called Or Die Trying. Now this is in Star Wars Insider number 75, and it takes place between the novels Refugee and Reunion. You see, Sean Williams and Shane Dix, in an interview a long time ago when these books came out, they said, we tried to do as many connections within the expanded universe as we could. Now, I skipped over a lot in Force Heretic because I wanted to save some goodies for you, but there is a lot to talk about. And there's a lot of connections made in Force Heretic trilogy. And they said, well, do you have other ideas? I said, oh yeah, we had tons of other ideas. Well, of course, they let them write one of those ideas in a short story for the Star Wars Insider. It was an idea they were floating around for Force Heretic, but just didn't have time to develop. So later on, they told this story. And this is the story. It takes place shortly after the upset of Bakura. The Sisaruk get defeated back. And Jaina is told that, they know about the Prime Minister being a replica, so they kind of track down where did they get this tech? Who is teaming up with the Sisaruk to, take someone's life essence and put into these replica droids. Now, if you recall, replica droids have been around for a very long time in the expanded universe. If you remember, the Glove of Darth Vader series, which I really enjoyed reviewing back in the day, had a Leia replica droid, the one that shot lasers out of her eyes. So it's not far-fetched. And if you go back even further chronologically, you will see that in Shadows of the Empire we had Guri, right? The almost perfect replica droid. So it is conceivable we have replica droids living among us. There's not that much said or done about them in the expanded universe. This is just one of the few times we got to see it. So anyway, Jaina tries to track down where this replica droid came from, and she goes to the planet Onodax, and there she comes across Stanton Rendar. Now that last name should sound familiar, right? It is Dash Rendar's deceased brother. And you're thinking, wait, deceased brother? Yeah, the background of Stanton goes back a ways, saying that he died a long time ago, and Stanton is recalling this story for Jaina. He's filling her in. And he's giving you the story of what became of Dash Rendar. If you recall, last time we really saw him, and we saw him in Shadow Games, but chronologically speaking, it was the Shadows of the Empire comic book series, the sequel that I said just wasn't that good, that starred Guri, kind of trying to wrap up her storyline. If you recall, at the end, Guri comes across Dash Rendar in the last, I think the last page of the comic book. You're like, oh, he's alive, Well, yeah, he's alive, and what happened to him since? They kind of just dropped Dash Rendar altogether. No one, I guess, was that interested in him after, his 15 minutes of fame came and went with Shadows of the Empire, it seems. Well, this short story, Sean Williams and Shane Dix go, hey, let's tie up that storyline. It's great stuff. So he says that Dash Rendar met Guri. They decided to go into business making replica droids. They did look into the Sisaruk technology. This was a way to try to bring back his brother Stanton, who had died. Now Stanton's kind of running it. I don't think we're told the fate of Dash Rendar and Guri. It's been a while since I've read it, but I know you do get their backstory and what they've been doing. They founded this company kind of as silent partners. And so it's neat to hear where they've been and what they've been up to. Other than that, they don't really go into any more about Dash Rendar and Guri. They're not really in it. But Stanton is, and he is a replica droid. Now, he's also talking about what's wrong with replica droids, Jaina. People want to live forever. In fact, I could get you, grab your Force essence and put it in a replica droid, and you could live forever like that. You'd feel the same, but you have a lot, you'd be a lot stronger, immune to disease. That age-old question about living forever. And it's a nice philosophical debate that they have, and Jaina thinks it's unorthodox. It's not nature's way of things, and she's about the Force and everything. And I like the little banter back and forth between the two. Well, eventually Stanton's gonna sick attack droids on her, and he's gonna escape while Jaina fights off the attack droids. And that's basically it. It's just a little short side story. It is very interesting, and it deals with Dash Rendar and Guri and what happened after Shadows of the Empire comic book, which not that anyone really cared to know that, but I thought it was a nice little tie-up. Say, okay, whatever happened to them? What did they do going forward? Well, here's the story you get. It's in a little short story here in the Insider, but it's a very good story at that. Now, there's another storyline that I forgot to mention. I think this takes place in Star by Star, but it was an idea they were going to build into droids being sentient, realizing their own mortality. It starts with 3PO. It's a great scene. 3PO is watching Han work on the Falcon, and he's seeing sparks fly off the Falcon from this tool he's using. And as the sparks die, the embers die on the ground, 3PO starts contemplating his life and what death would be like. And I was like, that's wild. And I remember asking Troy Denning about this, and he said it was an idea that they had, but it later dropped because they had so many other things they had to get to in the New Jedi Order and they didn't have time. Now that would be another interesting conversation. How many other pieces from the New Jedi Order, storylines that we could have seen, did we not see because they just didn't have time? Sean Williams and Shane Dix do a great job making a lot of connections within the expanded universe. And to be honest, I could have enjoyed 3 other books from them from in the New Jedi Order because I think they would have done an awesome job, and who knows what else they would have tied up. There's several other stories out there that deserve great endings or characters that deserve updates. So I would have loved to have seen that. But overall, Or Die Trying, really good short story. All right, folks, that's it for now. See you next time with another review.